Valentine's look. Now this look is called Not a Love Song, so definitely more on the cooler tone side. So let's just get into it. Let's start off with priming our face, as we need to make sure that this makeup is not going anywhere. Now because I really want those cool tones to stand out, I'm actually going to go in with a much lighter base. Now we're going to moving on to eyes, so we're going to create this eye look right here. So I'm going to start off with a more darker gray on a pretty denser small brush. Now we want to take a small one to really pack that color on. Now just look straight ahead and just really apply it. Because it's dense, it definitely packs that color on nicely. So now we just start blending it in circular motions, bringing it upwards so we can create a lifted effect. Now we already packed that color in, so we're going to take a lighter tone that's in the same color family, and we're just going to go right on top of it in circular motion using more of a fluffy brush, and just diffuse everything around the edges so that we don't create this harsh line. Really spotlight that inner portion of the eye. I'm just going to go in with the primer and take a tiniest little bit and just apply it right in the front, and really just patting that in. Now I do have a ton of folds in my eye, so I have to take this more like fluffy flat brush, and because when I use dense and flat brushes, it tends to look really stuffy on that inner portion. So taking more of a fluffy brush and really just packing on that color where we just place that eye primer. Now this is where we need to start beginning the blending process and creating that nice transition when you're looking down and when you're looking straight ahead. So what you're going to do is just start really lightly patting, because you don't want to blend side to side because you might make it muddy. So just pat. Now we're going to go back in with the brush that we used for that main gray shade, and we are also going to want to take this smaller dense brush. Now this is when you want to have a really nice and precise denser brush. So first we're going to start building back that transition with no extra product first, and if you ever need to, just go a little bit back, tiny bit, really take off all the excess and really focusing it right here so we have that depth. And now this is when the dense brush comes in handy. So right here there's a little bit an uneven transition. You're going to take something a little bit of an in-between of that gray and that cream tone. So for me it's just a little bit more of a taupey brown shade, and you're going to go just stamp it in right here in between, and then you can start sweep motions. Now if you feel like you lost a bit of that white and you want to bring it back, just go right back in with no extra product, and you feel like you need more, then you add more product. And this is what the eye look should look like. I'm just going to go in with my color correctors. I really need to conceal the under eye. While we're letting our color corrector adhere to the skin, I'm going to start doing my brows. So I'm just going to run some brow gel through all of the hairs. Now just blending out all of that color corrector, starting with the orange one so that we don't mix it in with that green. So now I'm just doing a quick little wing with this brown liquid liner. Now just going in with a little bit of foundation. I'm really trying to focus it right in the center to get the fullest coverage. Now just going in with my puff and patting the foundation in. Now just taking a little bit of a higher coverage concealer. Now I am going to let this set a little bit so we can get a higher coverage, but now I'm just going to go on top of my liquid liner with this gel liner. If you find that you struggle with your liner not lasting, go in with your liquid one, let it fully dry, and then go in with the gel one just right on top of it. Now it's time to go in and blend that concealer, so really keeping it in the areas where we really want that brightness. So now we're going to go in with our liquid bronzer. Now because we are doing a cooler tone look, we're going to take a cooler tone shade. So this may actually look a little bit like a contour, but it has enough warmth where it does go and it does bronze up the skin just a bit. And now just blend, making sure that you are keeping it in a pretty much higher point. You don't want to drag it too down. Now sometimes I feel like we do struggle a bit finding blush tones that match the look that we're doing. So usually with grays, because of my complexion, I like going in with more berry and mauves. Now I'm taking more of a darker mauve because this is a cream. Now this formula does have a little bit of shimmer, so I'm going to go in with more of a cushion puff. Because I have a lot of texture here, sometimes that shimmer can make it patch up if I go in with a brush. Now we've already laid out all of our cream, so it's time to set the face to make sure that this is not going anywhere. Now it's time for our loose powder, so I'm actually going to take a lighter one, and I'm going to be really precise with this one and really just focusing it right in the centers of the face where I really want that brightness. So right here, a little bit on the forehead, from the chin, and then right here, not all the way because it can look awkward in real life, just right in that center right here. Now it's time for our powder bronzer. Now same thing that we did in with the liquid version, we're gonna go in with one that's also quite neutral, so it still matches those gray tones, but you still have some dimension on the face. Now I do want to take a little bit of some nose contour to kind of tie in how this is really bright, so we can really create this nice symmetry. So really lightly we're going to take it to the brow, just the tiniest little dabs, and just bring it down. So now it's time for the powder versions of that cream blush that we went in. So I'm going to take this one first. It's a little bit more of a darker, kind of like a rosy peach, and we're just going to focus this more on the outer portions of the face, but I am going to lift it up the same way that this eye look is going up. So we're kind of going to bring it into the temples and kind of mesh it right here into the eyeliner. Now we do have a little bit of this awkward spacing right here. Now I already went in with this one, and look how just nicer that looks compared to this right here. So we're going to go in with our blending shade. So this one is a really nice, more neutral rosy beige tone. Just going to go all around the edges of it and really make sure that we have this like airbrushed look. So now I'm going to go in just a tiny bit of pomade and really start carving out those brows. So now I'm just going to take a little bit of brow powder, set that pomade. Now we need to start setting our lip combo. So I'm going to start off with the base. It's going to be a water tint. Okay, so we let the water tint dry. So now we're going to go in with a lip liner. So I'm just going to go in with a more like nudish brown tint. Now you can't forget to do your under eye. So usually I love doing this as the last step. I feel like it just really ties in the look compared to this one that's just blank. So now it's time for the finishing touches. So let's start off curling the lashes. And now we just apply our mascara. And now let's finish off this look, making sure everything is set and mesh all of those powders. Now you know that a look is never complete without your outfit and your hair and all of your accessories in, so I will be right back. And this is the final look for Not a Love Song, Valentine's inspired. So definitely more on the cooler tones. It's definitely such a fun take on what we consider our Valentine's looks. So now totally let me know if you guys are going to recreate this look. I would absolutely love to see it. Bye.